game. You're facing France on Sunday. It doesn't get any easier, does it?
No. The first two haven't really gone to plan. I mean, performances-wise have gone well. Just we haven't quite got the results that we probably deserved. I mean, the big thing is we're not scoring enough points. Someone like Robin Wilkins now coming in and showing that she can kick at this level and kick really well. But we shouldn't have to rely on that for points, So it's a bit of a challenge. France on their day, probably one of the best teams in the world, and they showed that against England in the first game. So it's going to be tough here.
Well, against France, you know what you're going to get, though, don't you? They're going to focus on the forward pack, I would assume.
Yeah, they showed that in the last two games. Italy in particular, that they're just a bit of a battering ram, and they're consistent with it. And it's formidable when they get going. That it's important that we do stop it at source. So if we can get that sort of set piece dominance that we did against Ireland, then there's no reason why we can't stop them playing and at the same time get our game plan into action.
Now, against Italy and Ireland, you were leading at half-time, but obviously didn't go on to win. What is it going to take to go from leading at half-time to leading at full-time?
I think it's a bit of belief, to be honest. I mean, they say the performances are getting better, and there's a lot more understanding of what we're trying to do. We've talked about game management this week. That it's all very well being the dominant team, but if the scoreboard doesn't reflect that, then it's going to be a tough second half. So it's just about obviously starting well again, but making sure those pressure that we do get turns into points. And if we can do that, there's no reason why we can't get a bit of confidence in the second half and kick on.
You made 3 changes, all to the pack for the game against France. What's the thinking behind that?
I would say we're trying to get the combinations right. Is probably the honest answer. I mean, it was quite a tough game up front against Ireland last week, and we're knowing how France are going to play. It's important that we stop them at source.
Brought back Jenny Davis, 62 caps. That's quite a luxury, isn't it, to bring someone of that calibre into the squad?
Oh, definitely. I mean, a couple of years ago, I'd been shocked to say that she'd be on the bench. So it just shows the strength and depth that we've got. I mean, Meg York herself hasn't really done anything wrong to justify her being dropped, but Jenny herself has made an impact when she's come on. So it's a nice luxury that we've got, that competition for that loose head is there, and Jenny deserves her start, or her opportunity to start, I should say.